so much for choosing to share your lunchtime with us. Really appreciate that. We're going to be together for 45 minutes. I think some of us have met before and some of us haven't. So if this is your first time at a boardroom session with me, Claire Spratt, welcome. Thanks so much for coming along. I'm a company director, a learning consultant, and I'm also an insights discovery practitioner. And if you know anything about MBTI, DISC, or insights discovery, then you'll know it's all about personality preferences and understanding how that can influence your work. So I did a lot of work with leaders and their teams. I bring awareness of self and others to teams to help them just be happier at work, connect more, collaborate more, and get on with what it is they're meant to be doing, but in a better environment, better atmosphere. So we bring understanding of self and others to everything that's business. So that's what I'm all about. Just whilst we're waiting for everyone to join, I'm just going to pose a question to have a little think about. And we're going to be using the chat today. And also it's lovely to hear from you as well and see your faces and hear your voices. But just have a little think about these two things, and I'll ask you to share them in the chat in a few minutes once we've done some housekeeping. So I'd love to hear where you're joining us from. So whereabouts in the world and the country. And also one word that describes your ideal working environment. So I'm going to be asking you for one word to put in the chat that describes your ideal working environment in a moment. Joe, would you like me to hold off?
No, we might as well make a start, Claire.
Super. All right then. Well, a little bit about, let's do some housekeeping first, and then we'll talk about why we're together. So today's all about your ideal working environment. I do use the Insights Discovery personality model for context, because that gives us an anchor on which to understand people's personality types. But really it's all about you and understanding your work environment and recognizing that in other people. We're together today, standard boardroom session, 45 minutes. And we're going to have a breakout towards the end. We'll see how much time we've got, but that will be between 5 and 10 minutes. It's quite an important time to reflect on what you might have understood or any light bulb moments you've had, and just share them with each other. And it's always nice to end with a discussion. And then I'll bring you back and check in on any thoughts you'd like to share from there. So it's all about awareness of self and others. That's what discovery is all about. That's what understanding working environments is all about. And as we know, that can really lead into well-being and productivity as well. I encourage you to be as open with your thoughts and experiences as you'd like to be, but please keep them just for this session. We are recording it, be aware of that. And that last one there, enjoy the session, is compulsory, of course. But it's lovely to be together with you all. So one of the reasons that we talk about this, I mean, again, if you joined for the last session, if you're just joining us now, we do use discovery in the 4 colour energies to get a better understanding of people's personality preferences and our own. That's where it all starts. We'll use the same model for today, because it does give us some context and some clues as to how the ideal working environment might look for ourselves and also somebody else. And why is that important? I mean, we know from our experience as HR professionals that what people need to be happy at work and to thrive and be productive and to stay with us differs. And along with salary and job role, the place that you work and the people that you work with is a real attraction. And whilst we're all working in different models, whether that's 100% back in the office, it's completely working at home following the work from home mandate back in December, or maybe your organisation is running a hybrid where some people are at home some of the time and the office some of the time. But whatever that might be, adjusting any working environment that you're in for your own productivity, enjoyment, engagement, just to enjoy being at work a bit more, can make a real difference to yourself. And also, if we can have more of an insight into that for other people, then we've got another tool to try and boost that retention and attraction of new talent. So we're seeing a few things popping up in the chat. So just tell me in the chat where you're joining us from, word that describes your ideal work environment. So I'm joining from Netley Abbey. I'm down in Southampton. I'm on the coast, very foggy day today. And my ideal work environment is vibrant. So vibrant. I like a lot of energy, a lot of contact. So let's have a look what we've got there. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen so I can see you all. Do join us on video if you'd like to. So we've got Beverly, who's joining from Newcastle in the office. Give us a wave, Beverly. Where are you? Hi, Beverly, or just say hi. Beverly's gone shy on us, but thank you very much for sharing. So your ideal work environment is...
Hi, I'm here. Sorry.
Hi, Beverly. Lovely to have you here. How you doing? Thanks.
Nice to meet everybody.
Welcome from Newcastle. Katie, hi. Say hi, Katie, or give us a wave. You're in Nottingham. Hi, Katie. And your ideal work environment is calm. I like that. That's good. Who else have you got? Leslie. Thanks so much for sharing. Leslie in East London. Say hi to us or give us a wave, Leslie. Hi.
Hi everyone.
Hello. What's the word that describes your ideal work?
Oh yeah, you did say one word. Sorry, I've got a sentence there. One word. Ideal. One word.
You can use a sentence. We welcome it all.
Well, actually, right now I've got classic FM on, so that's my ideal. Just not complete silence. Sometimes I do have silence, but actually, most of the day I do have that on. Just a calming in the background, something going on. Yeah.
Lovely.
And if the cats would stop running up and down the stairs, that would help.
Calm and some cats not being calm, and a nice picture. Enjoying your picture as well. Thanks, Leslie. Also, you got Anna. Hi, Anna.
Hello.
Ruscombe near Reading. So
Yep.
your ideal environment is calm. Is that?
Yeah, I like it. I'm more productive at home when it's just me and just getting on with things rather than that sort of noise in the office.
Yeah. And are we in your home office now, or are we in your work office? Yeah, it's lovely. Enjoying the colours on the wall. Thank you. Nice to have you here. Kelly, hi. You're in Coniston in the Lake District. We're up north. Say hi to us, Kelly. Hello. So your word was friendly.
Yeah, I mean, I just like a really nice environment. When I'm working at home, I want it to be quiet. I can't have music or anything like that. But if I'm in the office, I really love the hustle and bustle. But any environment, I like it to be friendly and to just feel comfortable.
Yeah, love that. Thanks, Kelly. That's really good. Thanks. We're getting a good variety here. Laura, hello. You're in Ringwood, not very far away in the New Forest, I think. Hi, Laura. How you doing?
I don't think my microphone's working.
It is. You're fine.
Oh, it's not working. Hi, yes, down on the South Coast as well, not far from you. I went for environment as in kind of culture and environment, not physical environment.
No, we're enjoying that as well. So trusting.
Yeah, so kind of a trusting environment, yeah.
So trusting as in quiet and secure, or trusted to get on with your job?
Yeah, I think that the trust and respect. So I think, yeah, absolutely. So trusting, for security, but for actually people trusting to do the right thing, make good decisions, and kind of respect that as well. So
brilliant, love that. Thanks, Laura. Enjoy that. Steph, hello, joining from Mincing in Ramsgate. Hi, Steph. Say hi or give us a wave.
Hi. Yeah, I like a bit of background noise, which the cat doesn't often give, that you can see in the background. So he's not overly chatty. I love the blend of the hybrid model that we've got now, but I do like a bit, and I like Leslie's principle. I might steal that, just to have classic FM can help. I think it gives you the right kind of mentality to concentrate, and it's probably enough noise distraction for me as well. So I might try that.
Love that. So a little bit of noise, just a bit of background, not so much cats and
not so much, just too distracting. I can end up being a bit too chatty when I'm in the office as well.
Which is always nice, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Leslie, we've already heard from you. We're enjoying your sentence there. Lorna, you're joining from Derbyshire. Lorna, say hi or give us a wave. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm just trying to turn my video. Oh, there we go. Video's on. Hi, everybody. I'm Lorna. I'm in Derbyshire. And I would love to be with people. I feel it really difficult to be on my own all the time, isolated. I work with a global team, but it's always nice just to be in the office, face to face with people.
Yeah, does that make you more productive, Lorna, as well?
I just feel that you can just pick up, as HR as well, you can pick up on the vibe, you can pick up on the culture, what's going on. You can hear those little, coffee conversations that you wouldn't pick up on when you're working remotely.
Yeah, some of those personal interactions, brilliant. Thanks, Laura, I love that. And hello from Derbyshire. We're going around the country today. Amrita, hi Amrita, say hi to us from London.
Hi everyone. Hi, I'm Amrita. I really enjoy a hybrid working model as well, like everyone else, because I think at home I'm more productive. Because there's no distractions of people coming to our desk, because I work in the HR, so there's a lot of people coming to our desk all the time. But at home as well, there's the disadvantage of you blurring your work and home life, because then I tend to keep working. Generally in the office, you just leave your desk when it's time to go home. So yeah.
Yeah, so missing that punctuation, enjoying the quiet, but missing that punctuation of the day of traveling. Brilliant. Thanks, Amrita. You make a really good point as well. Like that. So Kat Ward, who's in sunny Scotland. Don't say that very often, Kat. I've learned that from working for a Scottish company. People say, how's the weather in Dundee? And they'll say it's usually 70 miles an hour winds. But whereabouts are you in sunny Scotland?
I'm in Fife. I actually work in Edinburgh, but we are still working from home. We got in for a little bit just before Christmas, but then it was all back to home working. I quite enjoy working at home. You get, as somebody, I think it was Amrita said, you get lots of work done at home without all the kind of people coming to your desk. But actually, I think somebody else said that too. I really do miss the people that kind of picking up on the little things when you go for your cup of coffee in the sort of canteen area, that kind of thing. So yeah, pluses and minuses, but I do like the hybrid working, and that's the way we're going to go going forward, which is interesting. I work for a legal firm, and pretty much unheard of home working before this all happens.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Secure system. That's really interesting. You say you like to have a nice wee candle burning as well.
Yes, usually in the afternoon, just to kind of chill the afternoon down, get the little candle going. And obviously you can't do that in the office, set off the fire alarms, but at home you can do it, so it's quite nice. Usually have the dog and the cat at my feet, but they're chilling somewhere else at the moment, so that's good.
Brilliant. Love that. Thank you so much. Thanks, Kat. Thanks everyone who shared some insight into your variety of working environments. If anyone else wants to let us know, just pop something in chat there. But what you're demonstrating really nicely for us is that there's a really wide variety of ways in which we like to work, where we like to work, how we like to work, and the different degrees to which we like quiet, noise, calmness, busyness, pets in the background, maybe even family around. So just bear that in mind as we're going through, because not just yourself, but the people that you work with, the people that you serve, the people that you support, they'll all have different things about their working environments that will help them be more productive and maybe enjoy their job a bit more. And because I'm a discovery practitioner, we're going to use the discovery model, as I said, as an anchor to understand a bit more about the personality preferences. So I'm going to start with that, but then I'll move on to the working environments that we relate to, the different personality preferences. And then we'll talk a bit more about the ones that we relate to personally, and then doing a few adjustments to try and boost our well-being. And there's a few tips in here as well for how to structure your day. I've been working at home for 8 years, by the way. Worked many years in offices in London and around the southeast. And when people started working from home last year and the year before, I found myself coaching a lot of more junior staff members who'd never worked from home before. And at the beginning, I remember lots of people saying, oh, it must be great working from home. And you think, you know what? Motivating yourself, getting up in the morning, creating that environment, being productive, and also having the boundaries between work life and personal life, whatever those mean to you, whatever that flexibility is really important. And I think we all notice that well-being can go downhill really quickly if we don't get that quite right. So checking back in on it is a really good thing to do. So let me just start with the discovery model. If you joined us last time, this will be familiar to you if you've seen it before. And discovery is very simply a vehicle to which we use to understand our own personalities and the personalities and preferences of others. Last time we talked about communication, this time we're talking about work environment. But this is what it looks like. There's Jungian types around the outside. There's 4 colours in the middle, and we use these as a shortcut to personality preferences. And then there's some other lines that are really significant around what your Jungian preferences are on introversion, extroversion, thinking, feeling, sensation, intuition. But for the purposes of today in our 45-minute session, 4 colour energies: fiery red, sunshine yellow, earth green, cool blue. Really quick way of remembering personality preferences. And they say something about the style in which we like to do things, how we like to communicate, and how we like to make decisions and get stuff done. So with that in mind, fiery red, sunshine yellow, earth green, cool blue, we are a mixture of all 4. But we have a preference of a first, second, third, and fourth. And that's the best indicator to how we like to do things. So each colour preference has a good day. So if you relate more to fiery red, you might like the phrase brief, bright and gone. These are your bullet point people. Get stuff done, results driven, measurable outcomes, fast moving. It's purposeful, competitive, demanding, determined, strong-willed. Sunshine yellow, our next one round. If you relate more to sunshine yellow, then the strapline for that is involve me. Sunshine Yellow loves to know what's going on, be involved, connecting with people. It's very future orientated, demonstrative, throws its arms around when it's speaking, enthusiastic, persuasive, sociable, and dynamic. Sunshine Yellow. Our third personality preference, and again, we have all four inside of us, we just have them to different degrees preferred, is nice, calm, harmonious Earth Green. Earth Green's tagline is show me you care. Show me you care. So it often leads with values first. This is often where our coaching comes from, our supportive nature. It's encouraging, caring, sharing, patient, relaxed. It's a little quieter than our fiery reds and sunshine yellow. And then cool blue, lovely cool blue. The tagline for cool blue is give me the details. Give me the details. And cool blue is more reflective, it's more thoughtful. And when we're dialing up or when we're preferring our cool blue, we're more formal, precise, cautious, deliberate, and questioning. We're a bit more organized and process driven. And there's a line that goes down the middle here. If you lead with or relate to more fiery red or sunshine yellow, that's more where your extroverted preference might come in. And that's on a sliding scale. And extroversion likes to re-energize by being around people and connecting with others. It processes its thoughts by speaking to think. If you ask a question, you'll hear the thoughts come out loud, then they'll come to a conclusion. More of an introverted preference on a sliding scale is our cool blue earth green. And again, think about this in a working context, environment, or in a meeting, or the way in which we like to set ourselves up. Introversion, cool blue earth green, is a bit quieter. It thinks to speak. If you ask a question of an introverted preference, they'll go, and then they'll come to their answer. So think to speak, both are equal. And the way in which an introverted preference, our cool blue earth green side over on the left, likes to re-energize is quietly. So busy day, battery charged, go into a quiet room, just spend some time recentering, and then they're ready to go again. And if we have a preference for all of these in different orders, there's a few words here coming up as well you might relate to in these four colour energies. Hopefully you'll be able to already start relating to some of these more than others. If we translate that into our working environment, so that forward focused, results driven, fiery red, brief, bright and gone, that's sunshine yellow, sociable, dynamic, lots of things going on at the same time, quite noisy. Maybe you're calm earth green. So a bit of calmness, but more relaxed, more values driven, or that very organized cool blue, very efficient, likes things to be in order, all that information to hand. So if we mix that up, all four inside us, a preference, ignore thinking and feeling, or don't ignore it, but we're not talking about that today, but introversion and extroversion mixes like this. So if you lead with, or you prefer cool blue and earth green, then you might have more of an introverted preference. And if you lead with fiery red or sunshine yellow, you might be more extroverted. So think about that office environment, extroverted, lots of mixing with people, introverted, a bit quieter, a bit calmer, and they mix like this. So we have all four colour energies inside us and we can access all four of them, but then let's have a look about how these preferences are really influenced by the working environments. So just think as we go through, I'm just going to pop that up again, which one or two of these colour energies you begin to recognise in yourself and you begin to prefer, because that's the clue to what your ideal working environment might be. And then later on, we'll talk about how you can use all four to bring a bit of balance into your environment and also support those in others. So let's translate those four colour energies into our ideal working environment. If you relate more to our brief, bright and gone, fiery red, you might prefer, or you might spot in others, a more orderly and business-like work environment. This is where there's a lot of time saving, it's very efficient, it's fast moving, it's forward focused, and there might be lots of gadgets around to help us do that. So there might be lots of phones and iPads and just tools to help us be more efficient. If you relate to, or you spot in others, more of a sunshine yellow preference, our working environment might be less structured. There might be more space to develop ideas. There's lots going on, there's noise, there's stimulation, there's space to discuss our ideas, and there might be lots of projects and plates in the air at the same time. We often see more of a team connection. This is more relationship focused, and there might be group photographs or things that relate to connecting with our team. And also because sunshine yellow is motivated by recognition, you might see a few trophies around. I've actually got a few sailing trophies over here on my desk as well. I don't think this relates to me, but as it happens, I've got a couple in my environment here as well. Our lovely earth greens, our harmonious, calm, family orientated, values driven earth green will be more warm and friendly. It's more comfortable, relaxed and lived in. The family photographs might feature around there, just connecting to our own personal life. There might be plants or anything that makes it feel a bit more inviting and welcoming. And our lovely cool blue, give me the details, introverted, thinking, thoughtful, reflective, process-driven cool blue. This is more formal. So they might enjoy more focused and quiet time. So possibly a bit more clinical, organized, systematic. There's information at hand, everything you need, you know exactly where to find everything. And there might be some reference material kicking around. So we're just adding in a few environment preferences around our 4 color energies there. Let's go a bit deeper. Keep thinking about what you prefer and what you see in others here. Again, if you have a preference for fiery red, that business-like approach might be what suits you best. It might be more orderly. We talked about time efficient tools. So how do you order your environment or your day in order to be time efficient? And that sunshine yellow, you embrace that less structured and time to connect with your colleagues, that sort of connections, sociable, dynamic, lots of check-ins, lots of time to have a chat. It's more stimulated and more productive when it's energetic. A preference for earth green, it's more informal. We talked about cats in the background there, and maybe people coming in and out, or some calming music in the background. That's more informal and relaxed. And there might be more of a blurred line between our home life and our desk life as well. I saw someone there, I think it was Leslie, sitting on the sofa, which is always nice as well. So warm and comfortable and relaxed. And Jo, I hope you don't mind me sharing. Jo was sharing with me that she often puts a cozy thing around her while she's working at the desk to help her keep warm there as well. Our cool blue preference, so when we spot this around the workplace, this is more formal. There might be a separation between our home life and our work life. There's a door that we can shut. Everything might be quite well organized down to our time and the way in which we do tasks, either at home and the office, and how we can translate that from home and office as well and take that with us. Organized, information at hand. I remember also on a bad day, if somebody prefers organization, they might be completely derailed by a less structured day or a less structured environment that makes us feel less motivated. If someone prefers business like that, more relaxed and flowing environment might cause stress to them. And equally, if somebody prefers a more informal and relaxed, when we push them to be more business-like, that's going to put them under stress. And again, if we're more sunshine yellow and we like less structured, trying to impose a more formal and structured and organized environment might stifle their creativity and their productivity. So there's a few more clues there. And we've got a bit more going on here. Think about when you're at your best. So again, if you're relating already to one of these color energies or one or two of these color energies, start thinking about when you're at your best. Let's go around the other way and talk about cool blue first. So cool blue might be at its best in that thoughtful, reflective, quiet space that gets really in depth, using its introversion to focus on being productive. It might prefer a quiet space that can focus for long periods uninterrupted. Might prefer working alone, might prefer to be alongside others but quiet. That's quite important. Everyone's human, everyone likes contact, but the shape and the form that contact takes might look different. So stimulated by quiet, allow me space to think, whether that's in a meeting, whether that's working at home or in the office. Still likes people around, but more quiet. So if you relate more to earth green, or you spot others who do, they might be at their best in a calm and harmonious space. We talked about trust there. Someone said they like a trusting environment. That features very strongly in earth green. So trusted to get on with work, empowered to do things in their own relaxed way, and expecting the same from others as well, upholding those values. It might be stimulated by feeling secure and supported and relaxed. So that empowerment, that coaching, that harmony that comes in. And we'll often spot from an earth green desk the pictures of family and pets around. If you relate more or you see sunshine yellow in others, you might be at your best when you're more friendly and energetic and sociable. And your best ideas might come when you're speaking to others or when you're in an environment where there's lots of outside stimulation. And you might be most inspired and most at your productive when you can share ideas and hear inspiration from others as well. And then if you have more of a preference for fiery red, you might be at your best when it's fast paced, lots going on, business-like, getting stuff done. Efficient spaces, no time wasted on chit chat, just talking about work. And you might enjoy that quick fire pace and that action orientated and checking in at the end of the day, knowing what you've done, how you've done it, and what the outcome's going to be. And again, we're all human, we all like contact, but again, the way in which that contact takes shape or form is different. Fiery red might like brief, bright, short, sharp interactions. Check in, how you doing? How's it going? What have you got? Leave you alone to do it. Sunshine yellow might enjoy more time to develop ideas and connect with others and have a chat, and more space in meetings or in their day to develop ideas and talk about other things. Sort of going off at tangents really helps them. Earth green might enjoy more one-to-one, so that introversion coming through, sort of calm, relaxed, regular one-to-one chats. And again, cool blue might prefer scheduled chats, but definitely one-to-one, or maybe 1 to 2, and know what the agenda is going to be and how long that's going to last. But having that scheduled in is really important. So a few more clues about how we motivate ourselves and what we prefer in our business environments. And think about that in your physical and your virtual and your team environments. There's 3 levels to that. When I'm in the office or when I'm at my desk, what the environment needs to be, how much energy is coming in, how much calmness, how much quiet, and also as a team. So what do we prefer as a team? How often do we prefer check-ins? What do they look like? And what happens when we have those check-ins? So a bit of a reminder about that working environment. Again, organise neat information and reference books at hand for our cool blue. Just take a note of which one you prefer. Our earth green, more comfortable, personal, family orientated, relaxed and informal. Sunshine yellow, less structured, busier, lots of outside influences, lots going on, keeps us really productive, motivated. And that fiery red, that brief, bright gone, that efficient, forward focused, results driven, gadgets at hand, most efficient. So when we spot this and when we set our own environments up to be this way, it's also worth knowing how to approach people who are in these environments. So it's not just the physical environment or the virtual environment, but it's also the way in which we enter into those and we step into what people prefer. So again, going round clockwise this time, starting with fiery red. If you're spotting or preferring a fiery red preferred environment, this is more business-like, it's faster paced. Respond quickly, they're expected you to be brief and bright. So I send you an email, I want the answer, I don't want to know about your holiday, I just want the answer straight away. And they really appreciate being direct. If they're asking for information, they just want the information. So what time will you be there? 6 o'clock, brilliant, thanks, got it. Sunshine yellow, we're approaching someone with a sunshine yellow preference. It's more animated and expressive. The way in which to engage with sunshine yellow is very enthusiastic, spontaneous and talkative. And when we're stepping into this environment, be ready for a chat. How are you doing? What did you do at the weekend? What's going on? What are you working on? And a bit of recognition there as well. Great job, keep going. Sunshine yellow, earth green prefers more of a soft tone. So more of an informal approach. So more inquiring. Listening, earth green really enjoys being listened to. So that soft tone, how are you? And really listening. That slower pace, a bit more diplomatic. You can spot earth green by its quiet calmness and its diplomacy. Prefers support. So most motivated in this work environment when supported and felt empowered and trusted. With our cool blue is more thoughtful. It's quieter. There's a little tonal variation. It's a good clue as to someone's preference for cool blue, is it might be quite steady, a very reliable cool blue, and the standards are quite high. But they'll also, because they like to go into the details, give them the details, they'll really enjoy some time and space for questioning, asking lots of detailed questions, come prepared and be ready to spend a lot of time listening to the questions and answering them. And the last thing here is our interaction. So when we step into the last one we left off with, their cool blue, be more formal and indirect. They might prefer a handshake, don't hug them, mostly prefer not to be hugged, a bit more reserved. Moving around to earth green, when we're approaching or interacting with someone in an earth green environment, it's more easygoing, it's cooperative, it's a bit more flowing and more relaxed and self-contained, and be very considerate as well. And sunshine yellow, when we're stepping into someone's sunshine yellow work environment with that less structure, be friendly and flexible and be more informal and engaging. And when we're moving up to someone with a fiery red preference, when we're stepping into their environment and interacting with them, expect a bit more pragmatism, a bit more forthright and challenging. They really like people to meet them with their own directness and be more task focused. What are we doing? When are we doing it? What's the outcome going to be? So a few more indicators there from the preferences. And again, I hope as we go through, you'll give me a bit of thought about what your own preferences might be and how you spot those in other people and how they translate into work environments. It's going to move on now. Be prepared to talk a bit now. So having talked a bit more about fiery red, sunshine yellow, earth green, cool blue, and how those environments might differ, and we heard that at the beginning as well. Let's have a little look about creating our own work environment. And I'm going to invite you in here. So let's have a look at a couple of desks, right? So first of all, fiery reds, it's nice and efficient. If you have a preference for fiery reds, you might have a desk that looks like this. It's nice and clear. It's going to be very organized. It's going to be very businesslike. And you're going to have lots of things to hand just to support you. So just come off mute and let me know if fiery red is your preference and you think you might prefer a desk that looks like this. Let me stop sharing for a second. See if anyone has a preference for fiery red. Anyone have a desk that looks like that? Anna,
that's my aim, but it's never achieved.
Love it. So tell me a bit more about your aim there, Steph. So you like to have an efficient business life, but what really happens?
So this is very much a shared space where I'm sitting. We built a cabin out in the garden last summer, and this is my teeny desk. We've obviously got the sofa there, which is a sofa bed, and then what you can't see, nor you should you during a working day, is there's a bar to the left of me. Which could be quite handy after a busy day, but it means that what I can fit on my desk at any one particular time is quite limited, Claire.
Yeah.
So I've kind of maximised how I got my technology. So I've got a little riser on my laptop and a big screen so that I can see things, and a wireless keyboard. But when I start to get things out during the working day, that's where probably more of my normal working style then comes alive, because it just gets covered in stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, everything goes back in the desk again. So at the end of the day, it probably looks like a fiery red desk. But at the beginning, like during the working day, it's probably a bit yellow and a bit green.
Yeah, so a bit more. I love that you've recognised there the greens. You've got a sofa in the background. You've got some refreshments at hand should you need them. But it's a nice homely environment. So yeah. You've got quite a nice view there as well, have you? A little light coming in.
I've got lots of light. I can just see back towards my kitchen, so it's not actually that great a view. But
I love that. So there's a bit of earth green. There's a bit of earth green sort of undercurrent there. It's quite homely and relaxed. But I love that you're trying the efficiency, but really your style is sunshine yellow. So you probably have a preference for sunshine yellow, fiery red with earth green in there. So how about that sort of cold, orderly, everything in
kind of. So I've got a little bit of that because I've got lots of textbooks in my drawer. This was me 5 years ago. So I kind of know my style reasonably well. I would say on a normal working day, I'm probably a bit more red than I am yellow nowadays, because I haven't got the niceties in my email. I'm just like, right, I need to get stuff done. Let's get going with this. And I have to rein myself back in sometimes because of that, because I just know I'm so focused on trying to get things out the way, which is where maybe, as I said, at the end of the day, I want it to look red, because I'll go, right, I've achieved this, this and this, and everything needs to go away. But then maybe more of my yellow creeps in throughout the day.
That's fantastic. Thanks so much, Steph. That's a really good insight into your preference there. I love that you're relating all four colours as well. And
thank you.
Enjoying the fact you brought some blocks in too.
I've also got the quick reference, so I've got it to the right hand side of me. It is supposed to remind me to be kind of slightly different in my communications, which I often fail in.
Love it. Thanks, Steph. That's brilliant. Anna, how about you? I can see that you come off mute there.
Yeah, I mean, I do sort of resonate with that orderly. I'm really a neat and tidy person, but I have plants, I have candles, I also have a sofa in my office, but I am quite removed from our house space. So I have to walk through the garage to get to my office. But yeah, I do love structure. So I resonate probably with the sort of blues and the greens, really.
Brilliant. Thanks, Anna. I love that. Why don't I share the next desk that we've got and see whether anyone relates to this then. So a little bit of fire red efficiency. Steph said she quite liked that, but it doesn't always happen. There's a bit of sunshine yellow coming through there. How about this one? So who has a desk that looks like this sometime during the day? So this from the outside eye might look chaotic, but in fact, this is indicative of a lot going on. There's a lot of outside stimulus. There's probably 5 different projects. This person will know where everything is, and it's all to hand. And if you called them up and said, can you give me the report that's on the desk? They'll go, yeah, here it is. And by the way, have you got last week's data analysis? Yeah, I've got that over here. So it looks chaotic, but actually, if you were to move anything, that would throw them completely. So it's a bit of an extreme example, but who's got a desk that looks a bit like that? Who's got an ideal working environment? Yeah, Joe's going, yeah, me. Go on, Joe, tell us a bit about it.
I think because on a normal week to week, I'm handling quite a few job roles at the same time. My desk is only quite small, so I actually use the floor, but and I've got a little shelf underneath my desk where I've got all the different sort of piles of CVs. So again, just like you said, if somebody said, can you give me some more information on a particular candidate? Absolutely, I know exactly where it is. But to the BDI, they'd be like, what's going on there? But I know where everything is. And then I think, towards the end of the day, everything's tidied up and back sort of ship shape again. But because I need, if I've got interviews going on, I can just sort of see straight away where I'm at.
Yeah, love it. Thanks, Jo. I'm also going to ask you 2 more questions. So first of all, how much contact do you need with people in order to feel motivated throughout the day?
I would say quite a lot personally. Yeah, I'm definitely not an introvert.
Yeah. So that's sunshine yellow coming through. Remember that if you spot someone's desk that sounds like Joe's desk sounds, call them up a lot, give them a bit more than you think opportunity to have contact that will keep them engaged. Joe, the last thing I'm going to ask you is, how about that tidy desk policy they used to have out in the 90s, that at the end of the day you had to clear your desk completely? If I came in and tidied up your desk and put everything away, how would that go for you?
That would frustrate me because you wouldn't know where anything is.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Thanks so much. Brilliant insight into Sunshine Yellow Desk. Thanks, Joe. But let's move on to the next one. Anna, you're up next here, I think, because you said this might be a bit more like you. So again, an extreme example, but we've got some plants, we've got a lot of cats that keep featuring here. This is our earth green ideal. So it might be working in the kitchen, it might be sort of somewhere where you can reach things that make you feel comfortable. The lady in Scotland there, sorry, I can't remember your name, said that you had a candle burning, sort of nice and calm. So a bit of green coming in. If this was a true earth green desk, we'd probably have some family photos up as well. Just a bit of connection with the people around us and what that means to us, or our values. So Anna, do you have a desk that looks a bit like this, or is that a bit too much for you?
No, I created this office when we went into lockdown. So I made a big desk. I have plants, candles. I have a little filing system to my left, nice little coaster, pictures, sofas, cushions. I just don't have any family photos, which is perhaps a bit worrying.
That's all right.
But I do like my own space like this, and I've created it how I want it. Family are welcome to come in whenever they want, probably not to bomb a Zoom call, but it's perfect for me, and I much prefer this to going in the office. And when I go in the office, I actually feel a bit all over the place because I haven't got my setup the same, and I'm just working off a laptop and my headset doesn't work straight away, and I just feel a bit all over the place and I feel less productive.
Yeah, so interesting. It's sort of discombobulated because the things that make you feel calm and ready to go aren't there. That's a really good insight. Thanks, Anna. Katie, I'm gonna pick on you a bit. Remember you said you like a sort of quiet, calm office.
Yeah, and I've actually done insights before, and I sat exactly in the middle between green and blue. So when you talk about the desks, I mean, I have family photos, I have plants next to me. When I'm not on video calls, I have my 2 dogs lying next to me. But I also have, it's really ordered. I have textbooks over here, and that yellow desk you showed, that makes me feel a bit stressed.
Yes,
I just get stressed from.
I'm going to come and I'm going to mess up your desk. How does that make you feel? I'm going to move some stuff.
Yeah, just no, it's all like, and at the end of the day, it's tidy. I make sure it's tidy. So when I come back the next day, because yeah, just the mess, yeah, stresses me slightly. But I really get what Anna was saying about when I go into the office now. I do feel like, because I don't have a proper desk set up, we're all kind of hot desking, so you don't have your stuff there, and yeah, nothing works first time, and it just throws you out. So yeah, I totally understand what you mean there, Anna.
Thanks, Katie. I'm going to ask you one more question. Do you remember last year that there was a real fashion for having a once a day check-in at the beginning of the day where everyone had to get together and talk to the team? How did that go for you? So compulsory once a day, hour-long check-in with everybody.
It went okay. I mean, you knew it was going to happen every day, so it was kind of scheduled. In terms of my blue side, it was a set thing every day. But I did find it, because we did actually have those in. It got a little tiring for me, I found, just because it was a bit too much. And I've loved working from home because it's quiet and I can get on with stuff. And I do like meeting people as well, and I like some face-to-face time in the office. But yeah, I just find it a bit draining to be constantly having to kind of share everything for like a whole hour every day. Was a little bit too much for me.
Such a good insight, right? Compared to somebody who wants loads of contact. And I mean, I know that many banks in the city at the moment who have asked staff to go back and then ask them to work from home again, they have a short list of welfare. They call it a welfare list of people who are prioritised for going into the office because they're really, really missing all that contact. Whereas there's others who say, prioritise me for staying at home. I just don't want to go back. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. I can also see, Leslie, you're agreeing emphatically with the whole daily meeting. How did that go for you?
Oh, I hated them because I felt like, and actually, as if it was an hour long, I'd have had to say something, because every single morning for an hour to me would have just been horrendous. My mind would have been thinking about the things I could have been doing. I think most of me fits in the green and blue. And then there's that aspect of the red where I just want to get on with things. And that's why the little, ours was only 15 minutes, would you believe, at the start of every day. But I felt like it was just for the sake of doing it rather than it was bringing any value to what we were doing. And I tried to challenge it, but I didn't win that fight. So yeah.
So interesting.
I just felt it was too frequent every single day. Not that it wasn't necessary, but every day was just too frequent.
Yeah, whereas other people lived that. It's so interesting, isn't it? Thanks, Leslie. It's a really good insight. So because you mentioned that cool blue, I'm going to show you the last desk as well I've got here. And thanks very much to Kelly and Kat, by the way, who put in the chat there that they could no longer stay with us, but we really appreciate their time. Thanks very much for coming. So the last one here, so lovely and organised. You mentioned this earlier on. So everything's to hand, you've got your reference books, everything's beautifully organised, you know where everything is. There's probably some structure, some schedule going on here. Got a good power pack, very well organised in case anything runs out. So whose desk preference is like this? Somebody who hasn't spoken yet. Emery?
I can go. I'm mostly blue, I think, seeing that. I like everything to be organized. I have my to-do list and I have things that I need to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. I have everything on my desk that I need at the start of the day. And I like my stuff to be organized and in place at the end of the day as well. So
Brilliant. What happens, Amrita, if I come in and mess that up? So if I ask you to move desks, move all your stuff for you, and you come back to the office and it's all, what happens?
Yeah, I mean, I could adjust for a while, I think. I could manage that, but not for long. I mean, I would like, at some point, I would like my things to be back in their own original place, I think. Yeah.
And that level of contact, last question. So how often do you find that you need to either speak to one other person or a whole group of people during your day to keep engaged?
To be, I mean, my personal thing, I am pretty much motivated. So even if I don't speak to somebody for a day, I'm fine. But yeah, I love chatting with my team members. So I generally have contact with one or two of my colleagues each day, but not necessarily the same people every day. Maybe I'll call different people from my team. and
Yeah.
just have the queries sorted or just chat with them. Yeah.
And one-to-one, I'm going to ask, is that?
I have it once in a week with my manager, but not more than that.
One-to-one conversations, as in just one person at a time rather than a whole group call.
Yes. Yeah, just one-to-one. I would prefer that. Yeah.
Such great insights. Thank you so much. Laura, you're sat on your sofa in your lovely living room over in the New Forest.
No, I'm actually in the office.
Oh, you're in the office. Oh, there we go. Tell us like it. Tell us a bit more about which one of those desks is yours.
Well, I'm probably sound a little bit opposite to most people here. I'm quite relaxed and flexible. I just work off a laptop. Everything's kind of cloud-based and storage. I don't feel the need to have loads of things that are mine around. So I hot desk when I'm in work. So I like to sit in different rooms or different people and hear what's going on, or the co-working space, and just kind of be part of it. So if people want to have a conversation or just, that informal stuff, kind of do all that. My office at home is quite minimal, but I'm not massively organized and structured. I definitely sit in that more kind of unstructured world, and they'll probably find that flexibility more comfortable.
Brilliant. Thanks, Laura. Nice office as well. I'm enjoying that. Thank you.
It's also really interesting just listening to what everyone's talking about their working environments and what they need. I think it's really important that we think about what other people need as well. Because one of the things we've noticed here, we are back in the office, and actually, even though some people, for them, that's not their preference, just because they're working at home more productively, isn't actually for the benefit of the rest of the team as well. And I think that's quite a fine line. It's like you might feel more productive, but actually the rest of the team are missing out on having you there and the engagement and those conversations and that informal kind of dialogue. So I think that's our biggest challenge at the moment, managing that balance between remote working, people's own preferences, but actually the good of the company and the business as well, and what everyone needs as a team, and not just individuals as well.
Absolutely agree, Laura. And also, moving on from that, finding ways to connect people when we can't physically be together and build in that sense of belonging and make sure that trust remains high is a real challenge for us as HR professionals. And the way in which people come together varies so much, doesn't it? I mean, as you said, we're missing having you in the office. We want you to be there as part of it versus you need to be at home productive. And I do think, speaking to companies around the world at the moment, the last 3 months, that's their biggest challenge. And when we had the work from home mandate in the UK back in December, it was like the plates being thrown up in the air again. Everyone had just got used to their new look team, whatever their organizational change would be, hybrid models to come in, people have gone back to the office, and now we're looking at disparate teams again. I think it's going to come down the line in February. I don't know whether you feel that too.
I think it was almost easier in a way when the mandate was to work from home, because actually everyone knew what they were doing, everyone was in the same place, everything was on Zoom, etc. I think this kind of hybrid, or some people aren't in the office, some are on Zoom trying to hold a meeting with some face-to-face and others on a screen, and I think that's just those not there then miss out on the informal conversation that happens once the meeting's finished. People take time to update everyone on meetings that happen, not there. So I think this is more disruptive now than the work from home mandate, I think, for us.
Absolutely. What's your approach? So how are you trying to support that through at the moment?
We've kind of gone back the other way and flipped expectations to actually, can you be in the office unless you need to be at home, rather than be at home unless you need to be in the office. To integrate new team members as well. We've had, so many new people start, and trying for them to kind of integrate into a culture when everyone's remote is tricky. We found it tricky. So, we're trying to just reverse it a little bit, have some more time together, more time embedding people in, and then, perhaps go back to more flexible. So I think we're asking people to be in kind of 3 to 4 days at the moment.
Yeah, that's really interesting. What's everyone else doing? Leslie, what's your organisation doing at the moment?
Yes, we're government director of everyone being at home. We're quite a small organisation, small charity, less than 30, and we're saying people must be in the office at a minimum of 2 days a week. When we go back to the normal, going back to the office, minimum of 2 days a week in the office, and then the rest at home, so that people, like you say, do have a chance to interact. And some teams are saying that actually for team meetings, it's preferable if people can try to be together. But what's happened, obviously, in a lot of cases is since COVID and since the remote working, a lot of people moved outside of London. So some of our staff have requested, coming into the office maybe once a fortnight or something, because we've got people in Leeds, in Sheffield, in places like that. So they don't want to be coming into the office too frequently now. So that makes it a bit difficult for some teams. But I do accept that you're not going to get perfection whichever way you do it, even with, you just have to try for the most productive and the best that fits the teams.
It's really interesting.
And that's why for me, I don't mind. I like the combination of both. What I don't specifically like is being told these particular days you have to be in the office, because on those days I might have actually chosen to focus on something that I'd rather be at home to do. Like today, I'm just doing policy work, and that's just something I can just do while I'm at home. And then when I choose to be in the office, I know that there's times I will let people know that I'm going to be around. So if they want to see me, I'm accessible.
Yeah, brilliant. And Marusha, I can see that you're agreeing with that. How's the model going in your organisation?
At the moment, we are all working from home because of the government guidelines. But previously, we had started going in for a week, one team at a time. But like others, we have people in all over different places. So it's kind of tricky to get everyone in the office on the same day. And we had kind of a small shared space as well. So it was not suitable for large groups of people coming in at one point of time. So yeah, but since last month, I think we are all working from home.
And how are you keeping people connected now that you're all back at home?
So yeah, regular catch-ups and MS Teams calls, Zoom calls. That's the way we are doing it.
Yeah. And Anna, I can see that you're agreeing there as well. How's it going at your organisation?
We in the first lockdown sort of talked to everyone after they'd been working from home for a few months, and a lot of people enjoyed that change. And a few of our offices their lease started to come up. So we sort of took the opportunity in some areas within the UK to actually close offices and give people the opportunity to work in flexible workspaces rather than having a dedicated office. So we moved some people to home working contracts who were more remote. And so we closed one office and we changed our Reading office, so it's much smaller. So it's just flexible workspace. And then we created a bigger London space. And I moved the majority of people onto hybrid contracts, so they have a sort of base office that they're linked to, but they're allowed to work from home, and it's completely voluntary as to how often they go in. And I would say it's just working really well for us, because I think people have the autonomy to handle that how they want and to go in when they want. And, not many people go in very regularly, but you've got the option to do it. So, I think it depends on the managers, if they want to go in. I do have some managers that prefer working from home, and some of their team prefer to go in, and they need to find that balance to connect their team more regularly face to face. And I suppose that's the main challenge I've got, is that it is exactly that, not everyone wants to see someone virtually all the time.
Yeah, back to Laura's point. Yeah, absolutely. And Anna, can I ask, has that had a positive or negative influence on retention for you, or did you not have high staff turnover anyway?
Last year we didn't, but this year we have seen, I keep forgetting we're in 2022. So in 2020, our retention was fine, because obviously it was so uncertain. But last year we did see, towards the end of the year, we saw things opening up and people moving on. But it wasn't anything to do with that sort of work environment particularly. So I think for the majority, it does actually work.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Anna. Katie, how about your organisation? I think this is really useful to share.
I mean, we've done the same kind of thing as Anna's. So we've really said to everybody that they're all kind of linked to an office, but they can all work at home unless they want to come in. We've actually reduced our office space. So actually, if we did have everyone wanting to come in, we actually couldn't accommodate them all now. But we don't really have people taking that up. It tends to be the exec team that want to go in and spend a couple of days together once a month. Amongst most of the rest of the staff, there's not a massive uptake, but I am aware we have a number of staff who really miss that social interaction and just being around people, and they do work better in an office environment. But because the rest of their team don't want to go in, they've stayed at home as well. So, and we equally have had high staff turnover over the last year. Nobody's actually cited that as a reason when they're leaving. They do often reference, when they go through exit interviews and things, the difference between working in the office and working at home, but not necessarily always in a bad way. And a lot of them just link it to COVID rather than it being anything specific we've decided to do as a business. So it is, I'm aware we have a number of staff that probably aren't as happy or working as well as they could be, just because their preference is not to be working remotely on their own at home. But I don't really know how we tackle that, given the fact that the majority of our staff do want to stay at home.
I wonder if anyone else here has any suggestions or anything that's worked that you could throw in with Katie. Thanks, Katie, really good insights. Anyone come across those problems and found a really good solution? Anna, yeah,
well, we have the similar sort of problem, but we're a very small company. There's only 30 of us, so I think the majority it works for and the minority it doesn't. But I still, concerned about that small group that want to sort of interact on a more regular basis. But we've left it voluntary, and we've sort of given them the sort of empowerment to go and organise it themselves and get in if they want to, and sort of leave it with them rather than tell them what to do. So I don't really have a solution.
Yeah. That's good though. It's nice to know that people are experiencing the same challenges though. Anyone else who we can't see on video? So we've got Roshane, Landry, Helen, KD and Tanya. If you want to contribute, please do jump on in. It was a great discussion. We do have 15 more minutes left, and we were going to talk a little bit more about organising our own environments for wellbeing. I don't know whether any of this might bring some answers to what you've posed there, but I think this is a great discussion. It's really good to hear from everybody's experience as well. So do stay with us if you'd like to. Anything else that anyone would like to add, by the way, on those points? Okay, let's move on a bit then about supporting others. And we talked a bit earlier, and we started relating extroversion and what people might need. Particularly, we're talking about those who want more contact at the moment, which I thought was quite interesting there. So we can often pick up on extroversion. The clues that we have when we're working remotely, we're speaking to them, is that speak to thinking out loud. Just have another message from Roshane here. Thanks so much for coming, Roshane. We really appreciated you being here. Sorry you have to leave. So just talking a bit more about that extroversion. So that lots of contacts, trying to create or replace those interpersonal connections has worked quite well with many of the teams I've been working with. And I'm sure with you as well, but creating space for those discussions and for the relationships, that social currency, which is eroding away at the moment, that we might have relied on to get stuff done, is really important to the extroverted preference, where the introversion is more self-contained, and trying to get that balance by mixing, getting people as well. Thanks, Anna, I really appreciated that. Thanks for coming along. And we won't talk about thinking and feeling, but again, a few more clues here, and I'll share these with you afterwards. So the level of check-in. So cool blue, less check-in, but more one-to-one. Sunshine yellow, more check-in, more group. Again, creating those connections, sense of belonging, the feeling of collaboration. With our sunshine yellow, also crosses over into earth green, that support and that recognition. And also being invited into discussions. So often when we're working remotely, if we lead with earth green or cool blue, our voice isn't always heard, particularly in those Zoom meetings or those teams. So remembering to invite people in as we would with the body language in face-to-face meetings is quite important to earth green. And that fiery red is not asking them to spend too much social time together. So having the contact, but talking about work stuff and getting it done and moving on, and recognizing their need for standing on their own and doing their own thing and having control over their own space is quite important as well. So quick, sharp check-ins. Talked a little bit about well-being earlier on. I did say I'd leave you with a few tips about using all 4 colour energies in order to bring some balance to working environments. So if we talk about dialing up all 4 colour energies, if you try and access all 4 of these to bring some balance, I mean, somebody said earlier on, I wish my desk was more organised, or I wish my environment was all organised, but actually it becomes a bit more, a bit less structured as the day goes on, and then I return it to organisation later on. If we take a little bit from all 4 of these colour energies, first of all in our own environment, and second of all in the way in which we set our own models up, we have more of a chance of meeting at least some of the needs of everybody. So there is no thing as perfection, as Leslie said earlier on, but just making a 5% step towards all 4 preferences in the way in which we conduct our day, run our team meetings, ask people to work. And there was a fallback last year on everyone using email an awful lot more. We reverted back to virtual contacts only, and we began to miss those connections. So if we're dialing up and bringing a bit of fiery red, this is about organising our time, so being time efficient. So giving ourselves focused time slots during the day and making sure that our work doesn't run into our home time. It's a real gift to fiery red to be time efficient. If we're bringing a bit more sunshine yellow into that working environment or into that structure, it might be scheduling regular or giving time for regular social contact with teammates to check in and see how they're doing. One of the downsides of sunshine yellow is that it often seems happy and satisfied because it's very social and interactive, and it's very hard to know what's going on underneath the surface. So Katie, you said in those exit interviews, people are citing COVID. They might often not be talking about what's just below the surface there as well. And that's a real trait of our extroversion, is seemingly happy, but actually that's just social contact. So scheduling time for check-ins with sunshine yellow and sort of dialing that up and bringing that in. If we add in a bit of earth green, identifying times during our day for relaxation and re-energizing is really important. So a moment of calmness, or recognizing what it is that remotivates us, and supporting ourselves, being kind to ourselves. So making time and sticking to it every day, even if it's only 5 minutes, to get up and walk outside or make a cup of tea or have a chat with somebody, whatever it is that helps us feel relaxed. If we bring that earth green in to everybody's work environment, that will keep energy going and stay with sort of high engagement. So that support, that calmness, that harmony, that coaching that comes from earth green. And if we add in a little bit of cool blue to our day, that structure, having a start time and a finish time and a break time. So punctuating our day as we would have done in previous working models, where we travel into the office. Ruta said it earlier on, that traveling in and then getting to work and then doing the work and then coming home again, that's a nice bit of structure. So one of the things that Cool Blue brings, one of the gifts of Cool Blue, is having a process. So a great tip is to set timers, whatever kind of preference we have, is to have timed moments in our day that say, this is when I start, this is when I go outside, this is when I finish, this is when my lunch break is, and this is where the boundary is between work and home life, to punctuate it. So just a few tips from each of those 4 colour energies. Maybe there's something in there that might be useful. We were going to have a breakout session for a discussion, but I think we've just had one. So just a few thoughts to leave you with. Just thinking about what motivates you in your working environment. So some questions to leave with you. So think about what you enjoy most about how you currently work. We touched on that earlier on. The second part, this will be familiar to you, is a really good coaching technique, is working out what time of day you're most productive and what time of day you're least productive. So when do you get your best stuff done? Remember a few months ago, there was a hue and cry about people receiving emails at one of the banks out of hours. And there's now a standard note that people pop onto the bottom of their email that refers to flexible working. So I keep flexible working hours. You may hear from me late at night or early in the morning. Don't feel you need to respond. That's just how I work. So that's playing into, when am I most productive? When am I least productive? And focusing our most important work into our morning or evening or lunchtime or just after exercise or just before our morning coffee. Whenever is most productive, that's when your highest performance is. And when's my least productive? When can I maybe do my expenses and the less brain work, the more admin side at my least productive? Still need to be working then, but which tasks am I going to slot into that time? We talked earlier about how often we prefer to have contact with others. That's really, really important in our motivation and motivation of others. Short, sharp, maybe it's scheduled, maybe it's one-to-one, maybe it's group, maybe it's just unstructured time together, but all of us need human contact. It just looks different. How often do we need to regularly break? If we're extroverted, maybe we thrive on energy and physical activity. If we're introverted, maybe we thrive more on quiet time to go away and sit down and read something or listen to some music. Just take a moment to reflect and make a note of these things. And I'll send these to you afterwards. The last one is what your barriers are. So this is where our vehicle for change might be. So what do you like least about how you currently work, and what might you do to change that? Recognizing the thing that might derail you most in your day and reducing that. Do you have too much or too little contact with others? And are there clear boundaries between work and home? So if you take all of that, you think about what your preferences might be, what your desk might look like, how you like to organize your time, your space, how you like to have contact with others, how people in your team might like that, all of the things that might make your day good or bad, when are you best, what's most likely to derail it, and then taking a little bit for all of those lists and putting them together. It doesn't take much to change your working environment. You just need small adjustments. And as an employee, we spend a third of our life at work. That's about 90,000 hours. And just making a 5% difference will make a massive difference to your working environment. So thank you so much for staying for the most of the time. Are there any final comments that anyone would like to share or ask, or just before we leave? Katie, anything that you learned there, anything that came to light?
I think it's quite interesting, especially when you picked up and asked me about those daily kind of like hour check-ins. We still have them. they're half an hour now, and actually they've moved to the afternoons, and this afternoon the entire subject of our session is how we communicate better, and we make these do we reduce the number, the time length, that kind of thing. So actually I can take some ideas from this, because I can see through members of my team I can associate them with different colors, and kind of I know I've definitely got one person who's very much cool blue, and so I'm just trying to work out how we create something that works for everyone. I think that's the difficulty.
Absolutely, and ask them, it's not going to be one that suits everybody. It's our flexibility. That's so good to hear. Thanks, Katie. I really appreciate that. Anyone else before we go got any more comments? And Rita, anything that came to light for you, anything that you learned?
Yeah, I think the session was really interesting. I mean, to identify the colors, I can myself identify which color I'm at. So it's really good. And like Katie said, I definitely know one or two of my team members sit in yellow, and because they keep calling me and they want to have that interaction. So I can understand why they call rather than just sending an email to ask their questions. So it's really good insight, and maybe I can take this back to my team as well, so we can have a chat together and see what works out for everyone. We don't have like the regular catch-ups every day, but I think if certain people need them, maybe we can put an idea together if we need to have that in place or not.
Yeah, brilliant. That's good to hear. Thanks so much. So Helen, Katie and Tanya, we can't see you, but if you've got any final comments you'd like to make, please do jump on in. Otherwise, it's been lovely having you. Jo, thank you so much for having us. Any comments, anything that came to light for you that you learned?
No, I just found the session really interesting. I think there's some really good interaction and some really good points. So I'd just like to say thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for spending your lunch hour with us, and good luck with your hybrid models. I hope they work out well. Speak to you soon.
Thanks very much, everybody. I'll send a follow-up email out this afternoon. Thanks very much.